Hey everybody, hope you're all doing well. As you can see, it's been quite a while since I've done one of these videos before. For those of you who are new to the channel and may not be familiar with this, basically, I have a random fishing mod here, and I just kind of fish and give like general channel updates and life updates just to keep everybody in the know on the happenings in both my life and the channel. At least that's what I would say would happen if I didn't abandon it like 5 or so months ago, so sorry about that, but honestly nothing really much has been going on, and live streaming has definitely given me a much better outlet for doing content like that, so it's kind of become obsolete, and for that reason I'm sure you guys can see that I converted this channel into more of a stream highlights channel. Nothing really too crazy, just kind of like as an archive of my own stuff. But anyways, that's not really what we're here to talk about, right? Alright, so first of all, I've been thinking to myself recently, who am I? Alright, well, not really. Just kind of like my identity as a creator. What I mean by that is that I don't really know what I want my YouTube career to be, I guess, is what I want to say. Obviously, I want to make stuff that I enjoy, and I want to make stuff what people enjoy. But I always kind of felt like I've been at an uphill battle trying to figure out who I am as like a creator. So, in order to kind of get this point across, I guess I'll just go through a brief history of like all my videos on the channel, or more of like the phases of the videos on my channel. So I started off first with just kind of standard subtitled stuff, you know, gaming, funny moments or whatever, recording with the friends for like an hour and a half, going back, making over the top subtitles, wacky edits or whatever. You know, nothing too crazy, It never really stood out. I guess like my subtitle type kind of helped me stand out on the platform, but you know, I definitely want to do something more with it. My first change would come in January of last year, where I would make the gambling video, the Lethal Company gambling video, and that did almost 400k views. It's by far my most viewed video on the channel, and it only took me a week to make. But what was different this time is, you know, I played with my friend for, you know, an hour and a half or whatever, but I made a story out of it. I had a script, like only just like a page and a half, and you know, I sat down, edited it, made a couple of different sections, put a twist at the end, you know, called it a day. And then that kind of lifted me up off the platform. So at that point I'm like, okay, I see people kind of like the storytelling aspect of my stuff, so let's kind of try to integrate this into more of my things in the future. So that would come with the Brutal Company video, the Control Company video. Those videos would do alright, I suppose. My first variety content would actually come with content warning, which people seem to enjoy, but not really as much as I hoped it would. But still, I kind of held fast and kept doing different kind of weekly one-offs, like the Backrooms video. Got my community together and we did a supermarket together video, which I personally enjoy a lot more than some of my other stuff. And then my first, I guess, big pivot would actually come with my single father video and, you know, my random fishing video, which would actually kind of see me change into more of a single player view, where I wouldn't play with all my friends, I wouldn't be crouching on them as much, and I would just kind of go off of my own story, you know, talking to the audience, kind of playing the game, throwing my own twist on it, kind of being in control of almost every action. I was really scared on how those two would do, but you know, alas, they did exceptionally well, way above any kind of standards I might have had for it, and for that I'm forever thankful. Basically what I'm trying to say is I've done a lot of different things here, and I've done a lot of pivots, and every single step of the way, they've more or less worked out in my favor, which I think is kind of crazy, which is, it almost kind of leads to my own dilemma that I have here, which I'll get into. But anyways, back to kind of like what I've done in the past. After those two videos, the single father and the fishing video, I would divert more to like making longer content and put more time into script writing. Basically just kind of amplifying everything that I've done. And it's gotten to a point where the bubble is just about to burst, and it's about to result in a whole lot of burnout, and it's not going to be great for the channel. I'll be honest. Or before that happens, I did manage to obviously get out the repo video, which was my longest video by far, if you don't count my year-long compilation of Lethal Company. Put a lot of effort into that, put a lot of time, put a lot of money, honestly, into that. And it came out pretty well. It did okay, by my standards, I would say. Not worth the amount of effort, I guess. But then my final pivot which a lot of you might be here because of that, is because I made my first video essay on something completely different, on something I've never done before, Roblox. That video, and because of how well it's been doing, thankfully to you guys, by the way, thank you again, it's kind of resulted in me just kind of thinking to myself, like, what do I do now? Like, as much as I like video essays and stuff, I don't know if that's like who I am. I don't know if that's something I can upkeep for years on end, as long as I can keep this hobby up, or as long as it can become like a full-time job potentially, you know? I have a couple of ideas. Maybe I'll do something in like the sphere of, you know, a full retrospective on Club Penguin starting from the very beginning, and it could end up to be like 2 hours. I don't know. Will people even watch that? Or like maybe go kind of half and half, like I do like a really long storytelling gaming thing first and then a video essay the next upload, like kind of alternate between that. But basically what I'm trying to get at is, to you, my dear viewer, is to ask you, why do you watch me? Why do you people put up with me? You know, I really, really, really want to know. Like, are you here because of my personality? Are you here because of my voice? Are you here because, you know, maybe you're an editor yourself and you see the amount of time that goes into all my stuff? And, you know, I apologize if, like, all this comes off as, like, you know, I'm kind of stroking myself here, because I really don't like talking like this. But I have to in order to figure out why you guys are here, you know? Like, could I make, like, a video on anything under the sun and you'll keep watching? Are you only here because you think I'm gonna make a follow-up to the personal build servers video? Like, that's the kinds of stuff that I want to know. It's because I've done so many things in the past, my community has become, like, almost fragmented, right? And in turn, it's like, I don't want to keep adding on to my fragmented community with, you know, a whole different fragmented community. It feels like. I mean, I get it, it's more people, and it's fantastic. I love that you guys are all here. But it'd be nice to kind of, like, streamline it, figure out what everybody likes, to figure out what I want to do, too, right? Because as it stands with my current video creation process, and how, like, the current meta of, like, the 4-player co-op stuff is going, I'm not gonna survive in these waters, man. I'm not built for this. You know, my repo video took an exorbitant amount of time, and by then, I was thankful to get it out just on the tail end, but, you know, that game's kind of dead in the water, I'll be honest, fellas, I'll be honest. And I don't want to put all that effort into, like, something like, say, Peak right now, or in the past something like Headliners, only for it to immediately get replaced by the next best thing. You know, I don't want to do that. Now, I get, like, you know, maybe doing stuff for the love of the game, like, maybe I get one really, really awesome Peak session, and I just want to make something out of this, then, you know, maybe I'll do that, make a quick little 22-minute video out of that. There's also a part of me that needs to key into the algorithm, right? If I want to try and make this a full-time thing, I have to do everything in my power to make the video as best as it can be, and that also involves taking in external factors, like stuff like that. So it's definitely a lot for me to consider, and moving forward, I really have to figure out, like, what this channel is, right? I want to figure out why people watch. If you guys could let me know why you watch. If you guys could, like, give me ideas on what to do next. I'll be more than happy to make a whole video essay on stuff like Moshi Monsters, on stuff like Panfu, which I'm planning on doing already at this point, on, like, that Club Penguin video. But I also like to do, you know, storytelling stuff. Like, I have a plan to make, like, a random fishing RimWorld video. Is that something people want? Am I just going to be the gambling and random fishing guy? Or am I also going to be the random fishing and gambling guy and also the video essay guy? You know, maybe a little hint of Emplemon in there. I don't know. It's kind of like an identity crisis almost, and it feels like every time I make something, I'm pushing against that algorithm, and my videos aren't doing as best as they can because the algorithm in turn is going against me. So I want to try and even things out, right? Just kind of make it a little bit more consistent. Which that, of course, leads to my next point. I am not a consistent person. By far, I am the worst non-consistent person of all time. You know, the people who come into my stream all the time, they'll tell me, hey man, you said you weren't streaming today, what gives? Or, hey man, you said you were streaming next week, yet here you are right now, what gives? And it's just, life is so crazy, man. Like, the reason I took 3 months to make this Roblox video essay is because I got hyper fixated on this first video idea, this cursed walking video. Like, I've been working on this cursed walking video for like a month after my repo video came out, only for me to hit writer's block on the way out. It's like, yeah, I'm just gonna scrap this entire thing. Yeah, I don't care that I just wasted an entire month of my life and in turn put myself behind whatever kind of upload schedule I promised my viewers anyway. You know, so that adds to the stress. And then it's like, oops, now it's final season, gotta work on my finals, and oops, now I got a job, so now I can only work on my stuff 3 hours a week now. And it's just, everything kind of just adds up, and in turn, you know, father time passes me right by. And it's not great, especially for you guys. And then, like, if you look at my stuff in the past, like, you have my RemWorld series, if you guys remember that. I privated that after making one episode on it, and figuring that, oh wait, no, this is mid, nobody wants to watch this ever. Honestly. And then, you know, my Minecraft series, where I literally promise people that, oh yeah, I'll upload an episode on this every week, only to get burnt out and just completely drop it. You know, it's a lot. And, like, even this video. The other day I promised, hey guys, I'm gonna get this video out, just kind of as a general update. And then I just didn't do it. And now I'm here and I'm actually posting it today, thankfully. But still, it's like, I feel like you guys deserve the respect of being somewhat consistent, you know? I want to promise things, I want to deliver them. At least in some kind of time frame that I'm able to distinguish and tell you guys. You know, it's just like a personal thing at the end of the day, right? But I guess the whole point is to say I'm working on it. And I'm working on, like, what I want to do with this channel in the future. And I'm working on who I want to be as a content creator. And I think, in turn, in order to be a better content creator, I have to distinguish myself. Now, if by any chance you look up my name, Loopy, on YouTube, you will find not me. You will find anything but me. The only way I'm able to search myself up is if I put Loopy Lethal Company, and then I show up. You know, hurrah, or whatever. But I feel like that is not great. And in order to, I guess, elevate my image in a way, I might rebrand my name. Now, this might be controversial. I don't know if people are gonna strike back at this, but I might change it to Peach. Okay? Now, if you watch my personal build server video, first of all, go watch that, because major spoiler alert coming in 3, 2, 1. Okay. So I was the guy who made the hotel at the end, right? And my name on there was Spinked, but my name before that was Peach103. Now, Peach is a household name of mine. I don't know why. I was just a toddler, and I just told my parents, hey, Mom and Dad, can you call me Peach now? And they were like, okay, we're not gonna ask for any kind of explanation on this. And I've basically just been that ever since. My mom calls me that, my sisters call me that, my dad calls me that. That's basically just who I am in my household. And if you look up Peach on youtube.com, you will find nothing. Okay, you see what I'm getting at here? So if I claim that, Peach103, as like kind of my section of YouTube, then people can easily find who I am. And they're not looking through, you know, whatever else comes up first. In the grand scheme of things, I don't think people are going to be looking me up. Like, they hear me in passing conversation, be like, oh yeah, I'll look him up later and see what he's all about. You know, I don't think that's gonna, I mean, that isn't the case. Let's just say it right now, that isn't ever going to be the case. But I think in the future, in terms of like my own brand recognition, and also in terms kind of fighting that algorithm, as I mentioned before, this might be good. But I don't know if there's going to be a pushback to this. I might run a poll, see what's up. I mean, of course, I'll always be Loopy in a lot of your guys' hearts if I tend to go through with it, but you know, we'll just have to see, and I'll have to get your opinions on that. And basically, to follow up, I know I put in the title that I put a deleted scene of the personal build server video in this. That'll be at the very end, coming up in probably a couple seconds after I finish talking here. But basically, I kind of went over the old website on the day that I joined, and I just kind of went through it. Like, I looked through the old UI, I looked through like the corpse of the forums, I think I call it. It just basically nothing, but it went on for 2 minutes and it didn't really make sense in the grand scheme of things. But I figured if you're here on my second channel, you might be interested in this extra content, so, you know, I'm just gonna tag it on at the end here. But yeah, fellas, basically, I would very much appreciate any kind of feedback you have for me in terms of like what I should do in the future, in terms of why do you watch me, in terms of what would keep you watching in the future, because that's really what I need to know at the end of the day, and I appreciate any and all feedback. Yeah, fellas, looking for my next steps here, but in the meantime, I will see y'all when I see y'all. Alright, GG's, goodbye everybody, GG's. The classification on what is old Roblox differs depending on person to person. As an example, 2017 doesn't feel that long ago, until some basic math tells us that that was an entire 8 years ago. Thanks, progression of time. For 8-year-old me, however, my old Roblox was the 2011 era, which had its own charm. Thankfully for the unemployed, me, there's a way to look back on that charm. Using the Wayback Machine, we can look back at the exact date I joined the website. Immediately, you're hit with an iconic staple of the time period. A pirate, ninja, and motorcyclist avatars sit next to the Roblox logo. Basic animals indicative of the earliest games on the platform are mirrored on either side, accompanied of course by the epic duck, who is always coming. A dark blue mountain range sits as the site's background image, which is somewhat comforting to me, for some reason. A big green Play Now button sits next to what was once a slideshow, which featured the It's Free trailer and general announcements. Users were once members, and you could sign in with Facebook, for some reason. A featured game is showcased for the day, and parents are reassured of the platform's safety, and clarifying that they are indeed not LEGO. Back at the top of the webpage, we can see different tabs to visit. The homepage was once My Roblox, the marketplace was Catalog, and of course Premium was Builders Club. There's the Ghost of the Forums, the Contest tab, among others. Objectively, it definitely suited the times, and it brings back a lot of memories for me. The modernized search bar we have today condensed a lot of this down, and the added sidebar is very convenient. Deciding to delve in a bit, I checked a couple of tabs for old time's sake, starting with the Corpse of the Forum. Okay, I can't say I expected anything different. How about the contest page? Kind of adorable, honestly. I wish we had this kind of interaction on the platform still. How about Builders Club? Ah yes, now here's the throwback. You have TBC and OBC at their different costs. BC is here too, but it's hidden behind a button when you load the page, for whatever reason. By the way, as a side tangent, I found out that if you bought the lifetime OBC package in October of 2011, it would have paid itself off by 9 times over in May of 2025. If you opted for the monthly package from then until now, you would have given Roblox a grand total of $3,280. Basic math goes crazy. Scrolling down, you have a list of benefits, like active places, daily Robux, bonus hats and items when you sign up, the ability to create and join multiple groups, make badges, and test beta features. And of course there's the namesake of this video, but we'll be coming back to that later.